Okay, in the time that I will be here with you, I will take a somewhat strategic approach to the conversation because that is one way I could contribute to all the great things already going on. There are people who are living epistles of very productive, purposeful, fruitful relationships, and they're here, they've either spoken or they will still speak while you're at this festival. So I want to draw from two critical points of view. I want to explore some insights for you from a prophetic, spiritual point of view. And I also want to explore some insights for you from a coaching, strategic, executive point of view. Over the course of the last decade, I have led a coaching practice that has directly served more than 70,000 people. And I think that the big deal for me, as far as that reality is concerned, is the kind of data sets that we're able to pull out. From where I stand, from my standpoint, is not really first about the transactions or the volume of learners that sit on our platform and the courses we created, the resources they access, the communities we built, but it's really about the data sets we're able to draw from the experiences in answering questions like, what are the most defining factors? What are the highest criticalities that moves people in the path of visionary success? So as we observe everyday people over the course of sometimes just 1 year to 3 years, and we see how they make these leapfrogs, whether it starts as a gentle step or a giant stride in the direction of their purpose and becoming remarkable people. You see people who come into our communities not even knowing themselves, having identity distortions, and in just a matter of years. And I see this happen even within kingdom communities as well. And you may be seated here as a living proof of that. So we find ourselves, I find myself using this access points that we have to such a large number of people who work within our communities to ask questions around what do we find to be the most remarkable triggers of transformation? How do people move from ordinary to extraordinary? How does a young person get on a definitive part of purposeful progress where they are shifting and changing their own life story one day at a time, 1 year at a time, 1 month at a time? And I'm going to highlight to you a few of the most resounding factors that we're observing, cutting across gender, cutting across tribe, cutting across even generational divides. And it will help you see how remarkable and how valuable today's conversation is. I'll highlight 5 things that I continue to see as an executive coach, but I also see as a kingdom leader within our communities, impacting the most radically on how people are making shifts in their lives. Meaning that you are in the month of August, and so much could happen in your life that by July next year, you are going to have to be showing receipts for how you moved on the journey, because August 2025 may be so unbelievable, so far away from the changes and the shifts and the successes that you can attain in 1 year. Do you know this? That you're going to have to be confirming that, no, it was really me last year. This picture you're seeing and this season of life happened to me. That is how much we've seen people radically shift. Shift in value, shift in mindsets, shift in revenue, shift in impact, shift in platforms, right? 5 top factors that keep running across, whether I'm thinking about the work we've done with Gen Zs, or I'm thinking about middle-level management or C-suite leaders or ministry gifts, career professionals, entrepreneurs, very young people. The first that we find really shaping out powerful life transformations for people is self-governance. Self-governance, and this is just around personal mastery, the habits, the way that you are organizing your life, the way you are managing your time and your energy, the restraints that you are demonstrating in how you are, who you are becoming, the choices you are making because you perceive yourself to be a person of significance, and so not everything goes. Do you see this? self-governance, the ability to govern oneself. We're really saying that whenever people make the decisions around personal mastery and ownership of personality and ownership of self and ownership of time and ownership of energy and a channeling of themselves toward a definitive outcome, toward a preferred result, things start to shift. That is easily attainable for all of us. Is that correct? We can all practice more self-governance. And within self-governance, there's one that I really have to highlight because they have sub-practices. Within the broader pillar of self-governance, I've been teaching young people a lot recently around self-efficacy, right? And self-efficacy is that subset of this conversation or this pillar where you are leveraging yourself as an asset, meaning you look at yourself and you say, where are my premium gifts and how can I use my gifts to change my life? How can I use my gifts, my talent, my abilities, my natural strengths to make my life better and to achieve my highest goals? Has anyone ever asked this question? Whether this way or in any other way, have you ever x-rayed your life and you felt like this is something I have that I can play to as a strength and it helps me win? Can you give me a hand wave if that's where you're operating? Fantastic. And self-governance is the pillar that we see people winning with the easiest. The second arena that we're seeing birthing very huge transformation, this one is big. It's attainable very quickly and it's a game changer. It's called visionary excellence. And this is really about when you begin to invest in being able to see your preferred future and mobilizing your life in the direction of who you prefer to become, the career you prefer to grow in, the industry you prefer to dominate. Do you understand this? The lifestyle you prefer to have. So it's all around the goal setting. It's all around the goal accomplishment. It's all around the vision framing. Now, an important part of visionary excellence that I find rather exciting is when you observe the visionary life, not merely in projects and initiatives, but in your becoming. So we're observing visionary excellence, not merely in, I have a goal for my finances and I'm going to work toward earning more. But you can also have a goal for your personal brand. You can have a goal for your health, for your fitness. You can have a goal for your career, your business, your ministry. You can have a goal for the life of legacy and impact you want to create. But anyway, we're observing visionary excellence as a second key factor in driving yourself toward transformation and success. The third is execution mastery. And that is, I have goals. I'm going to do everything it takes to work on them. I'm going to be a doer. Every season of my life is always going to meet me working on something. I'm not going to be complacent. I have a goal. I'm going to go for my goals. I will convert my ideas to I did it. I'm going to have proofs. I will not be audio. Do you see this? We're observing this as a third critical factor that is shifting people into great success in their lives. The moment you become a doer and you carry what is called an action bias in your life, it feels like the environment becomes conditioned to favor you. Have you noticed that the moment you're looking for your friend in a car and she said, I'm in a green Toyota, though green isn't a very popular color or a popular car color, do you know the moment you start looking for your friend in a green Toyota, you start seeing green Toyotas? The thing is the weirdest phenomenon, but it's just the concept of accentuation. Whatever your consciousness is awakened to, you start to see it all around you. So we're observing that those who have execution mastery always have resources coming in their direction. Because the moment you start saying, this is what I want to get done, the environment will start saying, this is how you can get it done. Anyone ever experienced that? It's really powerful and it's changing the game. The fourth that we are witnessing to be a shift for visionaries, for leaders, for people like you, And I'm really selling this one now as a priority for the African continent, and I'll tell you why. It's the mastery of genius. The mastery of genius. It is becoming so brilliant that you cannot be ignored. It is the game of extraordinary proficiency. It's the game of expandable brilliance, expandable expertise. It is shining your light in whatever space you find yourself, that in 3 to 5 years, you aim to float to the 10% of that industry. And the base for mastery of genius is always first to begin by asking, what are the differentiating competencies? Forgive me, I know you are in a friendship festival, and you are struggling with the distraction of why I am not talking about friendship. Confess, are you dealing with that? But is this valuable to you? I'm taking you somewhere. Just follow me. You know, they've taught us the sweet part. I want to layer something that is equally sweet, but maybe not as sugary. Can you bear with that? So, mastery of genius is where you're asking, what are my differentiating competencies? Or, for who I want to become in my industry, for whatever profession, what are the standout skills? Call out professions to me that you're operating in this room. Just call it out to me. Human resources, engineering, project management, law. Did someone say math and maths? Content creation, marketing, accounting, advertising, education, coaching, counseling. So, are we not in careers in this row? We're waiting on the Lord. Because nothing has come from this arena. Hospitality, media, professional services, consulting. Did you say, real estate? I thought you said hairdressing. But that's great as well. Real estate, construction, and we can go on and on. Did someone say Inyo? No, I just want to know what I'm hearing, please. Healthcare. Whatever the space you are called to play in, you have to move quickly from merely understanding that industry, merely understanding your own career and your own job, to understanding the bigger industry, to understanding the key players in that industry, and to understanding the differentiating competence, which is easily around what should I prioritize that in 3 to 5 years can make me one of the 10% most sought after at my level in this industry. Mastery of genius. Nigeria is on the list 10 countries globally in the Human Capital Index. I know you are not at World Economic Forum, but while we're vibing, let us vibe into this reality too. There's no reason to be a non-entity in any friendship. The longest lasting friendships is driven by value algorithm, and I'm going to show you very shortly. And we often don't talk about that. I love that as I was quietly sitting on my own, minding my business, the phenomenal Okwe Macaulay went there. She said, why did you have to let me go? Why did I have to become the friend that you outgrew? Well, because there's such a thing realistically as the value algorithm. People can outgrow us. And people outgrow us sometimes when we become a danger to their definitive progress. It's real. So if Nigeria is one of the 10 least countries in its scoring, in its overall average for the Human Capital Index, it means that this whole over-packaging and over-branding that is infiltrating our world is a danger to our emerging future. We do not yet have the level of rigor that is required to solve wicked problems in our nation, because we're constantly thinking about our careers as sources of income as against an opportunity to activate change. So anyway, we're finding at number 4 that mastery of genius is a game changer for shifting your life into higher success and significance. J-Booms, have you seen yourself in all this for? Yeah. So we started at number 1, which is self-governance. Number 2, visionary excellence. Number 3, execution mastery. Number 4, the mastery of genius. And at number 5, we are discovering the almighty relational intelligence. We are finding that this particular factor has an interesting thing about it. A person may not be fully thriving in the other 4, but this is the only transformation pillar we are observing can create almost an equal degree of immediate impact for a person while they are still on their journey through the other 4. So what I'm saying in simple English is when people find themselves in rooms with those who are living a reality they desire for their future, they are 10 times more likely to experience that future regardless of their academic background, regardless of the books they are currently reading or the habits they have formed. Can you believe that? That a person is more likely to become a billionaire by maintaining their seat in the room of billionaires faster than reading books about making wealth or generating wealth. Yes! It's mind-blowing. Relational intelligence is standing as a strong factor in shifting your life into success and significance. So I laid that foundation, and I'm going to run through the rest of my conversation. I'm happy to be notified of my time. Is that what I'm looking at? So those men that were talking, they were part of my time. And those women that took the mic, they were part of my time. But we're observing relational intelligence as a critical definer. So the conversations happening in the room today have a strong emotional quotient. Do you understand this? It's made you feel good. It's made you feel emotional. It's made you consider reconciliations. It's made you make new determination to build quality friendships. It's made you say, I'm going to show up better. I won't, give up on those I've been with over the years. Maybe you even started to send a text or a WhatsApp message while you were right here saying, sis, I love you so much. I'm committed to what we share. And, you've gone all romantic on your friends because your heart is burning. But I thought to let you know that there is actually a very strong strategic and executive layer to friendships that can carry you into your preferred future.